So I saw Game of Thrones Season 4, Episode 6, The Laws of Gods and Men. Hi everyone, I'm Brandon Prosek and this is the So I Saw Show. We are now one episode into the second half of Season 4 of Game of Thrones. As always, let's jump into the goods and the bads. I like to start with the bad, get those out of the way. So my first bad thing is this pirate character. He appears really like this friend of Davos. He appears like once a season. And I'm pretty sure that they wrote this just for an excuse to have boobs in the background. I don't know why else we needed it. I mean, is this pirate guy going to become a very prominent character now? Or just to reintroduce him? If so, why? Next thing I did not like was this whole Yara Theon Ramsay storyline. Where's this going? I mean, let's take a look back with Yara. She was, pretty prominent in Season 2 with Theon's storyline when he was taking over Winterfell. And we didn't see her all of Season 3 until the Season 3 finale when she got a dick in a box from Ramsay. Tries to rescue Theon. He doesn't want her to rescue her because he's so fucked up from Ramsay's torture. And just like that, did she give up? Because when the one guy says like, "Oh, did you save Theon?" She's like, "Oh, my brother's dead." So what was the point of this whole rescue? I don't get it. Just to show more about how f***ed up Theon is? I think we got it. This is another storyline Game of Thrones. It's just, this all feels like not even B stories. This feels like D or E or F stories. Which is my next point. Dany's storyline is still boring. We're in episode 6 now. The season's almost over and her story still sucks. I don't know what's with her. It's... Season 1, good story. Season 2, shitty story. Season 3, great story. Season 4, shitty story. This is a terrible pattern with Dany. They tried to spice it up by showing a scene with the dragon. You know what? That's not going to wake me up. This is still Snoresville, USA, or Snoresville, Westeros, just to say. Come on, Game of Thrones. We've seen you do better with Dany. Let's see it again. Let's not see her sit on a throne and deal with pity shit that we don't care about. Honestly, if you add up all the bads I've just said, pretty much this is all the first half of the episode. I'll talk about one exception that I liked from the first half when I get to the goods, but otherwise, the other 25, almost 30 minutes of this first half of this episode, boring. Boring, boring. This is sort of like the episode with the purple wedding. All of the episodes sucked up until the wedding. This episode, all of it sucked up until the trial. Which brings me over to the good side of things. The only scene I liked from the first half of this episode was Davos and Stannis talking with Mark Gatiss, if you know him as Mycroft from Sherlock, with the Iron Bank. I like Davos. I like when they actually give him something to do besides complaining about Melisandre or trying to read or whatever. Have him do more stuff like this so we care about him and Stannis again. Because honestly, they've been doing a lot of wheel spinning ever since the Battle of Blackwater. What did they do in Season 3? You having trouble think of it? Me too. Must have been pretty pointless. This all leads up to the trial now, where we haven't seen Tyrion for like an episode or so. Game of Thrones has decided to do like a format where we have these long, extended scenes. Like with the wedding, it was like about the whole last 20 minutes or so of the episode. Same thing goes for this one. Almost the whole last half was the trial. So we're having the trial for Tyrion, and it's very clear that Cersei rigged it, and were we surprised? Which a lot of people have been asking, who are we going to hate now that Joffrey's dead? Because he was the be-all, end-all of hatred for this series. She's been staring us in the face since the pilot, guys. We all can hate on Cersei now. Jay returns to completely throw Tyrion under the bus, and that's what just triggered, that's the last straw for Tyrion before he just loses it. I was thinking that the performance of the episode was going to go to perhaps the introduction of Mark Gatiss, or maybe Pedro Pascal again for playing Oberyn, but nope, it has to be Peter Dinklage. He killed it in Season 1, he killed it in Season 2. Season 3 he wasn't given a lot really to do. Kind of in the background for a lot of the other bigger stories that overshadowed his. But man, this scene was almost like a, remember me motherfuckers? God, this scene, I just love that look on his face where he just turns. He's just like, you goddamn people, I saved you all. Like Tyrion almost kind of mirrored Jaime's story. Nobody knows that Jaime killed the former king Aerys to save the city. Tyrion was the mind behind the whole Blackwater thing, and he was just done. I loved Peter Dinklage in this scene. If he is going to be submitted to win any awards this year, or if there's any scene that he had any doubt, watch this scene. Leads me to my final good point of this episode. This episode actually had a good ending. It's episode 6. We hadn't had a good ending since episode 2 with Joffrey's death. We've had a lot of lackluster, boring endings, and I'm a guy who, if you have a bad ending, it could put a sour taste in my mouth for the rest of the episode. So endings are important to me. This was just an epic last scene and a great way to send off. It was so good that it made up for the shit in the beginning of the episode. I know what I'm going to do as soon as I'm done editing this review. I'm going to go back and watch Peter Dinklage's scene. Man, yeah, comment below, let's discuss. If you want to find me on Twitter, my Twitter's right there. If you want to click that big red button right below my Twitter, you can subscribe to my YouTube page. Check out all my other reviews for Game of Thrones, my movie reviews, WWE reviews, some of my stand-up, sketch comedy, whatever you'd like to check out. You can also, if you're finding me from moviepilot.com, you can also check out some of my other articles there just by clicking on my name and going to my profile. That'd be great too. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. And now you saw the So I Saw show. Dun, 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 dun.